Hey, we are tWoTcast episode 330. Jono. 330.
330. 330.
All right, everyone shut the fuck up.
Wheel of Time. Reread podcast. Explicit and R freaking rated. John is the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man. He's a total dick. Tom calls in if he's not too busy. We are tWoTcast!
Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Hi, Joe. Hi.
oh that was loud. That was loud. Hey, what are we doing tonight?
I believe we are tWoTcast, and we'll be covering something.
We are tWoTcast. That's true.
Yeah. Why don't we ask Tom?
Anyway, you're viewing and or listening to, we don't know. It's debated. tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time reread podcast, now covering whatever we want that's loosely related to the Wheel of Time. And today, as in the following weeks and previous to this, we're doing the Wheel of Time companion.
Oh, we're not doing the Cape?
Yeah, the Cape. That's what I meant to say.
Because I rewatched the Cape in its entirety.
Oh.
Yeah.
You probably should have been reading the Wheel of Time companion, because that's what we texted about this. Do you remember the text thread? It was like, stop watching the Cape, start reading the Wheel of Time companion. Do you remember when I said that?
No, I was watching the Cape. I didn't look at the phone.
With me as always is Jono.
Jono.
Hi. I mean Fano. Wait, Fono?
Fano. Fano?
And I'm Fo, and Fom is frequently, but not always here too, and not tonight, unfortunately, because of some reasons. I didn't listen to him. The second he said he wasn't going to be here, I stopped paying attention and caring. There were bad reasons, right? Because I feel like it was a bad reason.
It's a pretty shit reason. Yeah, I mean, odds are he's awake, listening to this, and smoking and jerking.
He's probably watching it like, you fucking dickheads.
Yeah.
Speaking of fucking, today's episode is brought to you by the letter F.
Yay! I did not know where that was going. Speaking of fucking, let's bring our guests in. Wow, that's weird. But no, the letter F.
That would be weird.
The, of course, best F word is fuck.
That is it's in there, right? I didn't get all the way to FU, but I assume any book that has words in a dictionary type format would have the word fuck in there.
Yeah, that's on page 285 in the hardback. Fucky Kareed.
That's it.
Yeah, just good old fucky.
So let's bring in our guests tonight. We have a fellow Wheel of Time nerd, and her name has an F in it. Amy Farstrider is here.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Fuck yeah, let's do this.
Ah, there we go. That's it.
Letter F. Excellent.
We're already there. And from the Threefold Talk, a few Far Dias Mai are here. Melindhra? Co-host of that show with her good friend, I think it's Bao and Carlin or something like that. Hi, guys.
Hey. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Getting you guys on here for Far Dias Mai was like this a bit of a stretch. We're like, what about F? What do we do?
We sat around for a long time.
Yeah.
But
But then also Threefold Talk has an F in it, though, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So does Foldy, which is the
We
name for our
planned
fans.
that.
Yeah. So hopefully there's a lot of Foldies watching, because that's the name of your fans. And that starts with the letter F. That's what this episode is brought to you by.
I hope you guys appreciate.
I'm just gonna keep doing that for no reason.
I hope you guys appreciate the amount of effort the graphics have that Joe puts into this show.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's really cute. I like that little graphic. The friendliest F I've ever met.
It's got little fireworks. It's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Let's talk about the other friendly F's you've met.
What's the other
Moving
film?
on. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Moving on. All right.
I don't think you guys are drunk enough.
How you guys doing? What have you guys been doing on your show recently?
Fucking with each other.
Okay. Is this just gonna happen all night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brought to you by the letter F.
Okay.
feeling all the feels. A lot
There
of
you
feels
go.
on our show.
Mhm.
And
Finding furious forays into frenzied fenestrations.
okay,
Okay.
very nice, very alliterative. We've been felching. And
She had that plan. Like she had paper behind her computer, and she was looking like she was making it up as she went, but she was just reading.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
It's a plan.
prepared.
It makes when you accidentally put the camera on the other direction at work calls.
You're like,
A
son.
little weird when that's just in the back. Fucking. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you don't want to see my conspiracy wall. Mm-mm.
I think I do.
It's got lots of skinned people on it.
Oh. This is just a
Like,
fantastic.
Just his drapes.
This is a fantastic advertisement. Never watch our show. Just
Wait,
watch
do you
it.
have the skinned people or their skins?
Yes.
Okay. Better.
Nice mug flex, Mel.
Thanks. Sorry, you can't have yours.
Yeah, mine's packed. Can't have it. That's all right.
Oh,
Did you say
we don't
mud
have
flaps?
mugs. Yes, mud flaps. That's what she said.
Mud.
Oh, look
mud
at that.
flex.
Mug flex.
Little stabby
Mud
stab.
flex.
Oh, I heard mud flaps, which is
Well,
you know what? Nice mud flaps, Joe.
John, are you good at this? You're good at this already.
Thank you. As you guys know, I have trouble listening to women and Joe.
it's too bad for you.
It's very bad for me. I'm
And if we don't do this within the first like 10 minutes of every episode, then we haven't done our job.
it hasn't gone well. Well, Joe, why don't you
Yes.
kick us off here and just tell us, unless you guys want to keep with the banter, because odds are the banter is going to be better than whatever.
I mean, that's the whole episode.
all right.
This is our lore deep dive into the twat companion, letter F, with our good friends Barthanes and Sen, Melindhra and Amy Farstrider are here.
Yay.
All right, what do you
I'm
guys
just gonna have a different name each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
I'm very upset that you're not giving me an Chiad like both F names.
Right. Oh, you want it to be Fane and Fiat?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm
Oh.
saying Joe.
Oh,
Oh, you're
yes.
saying I
Joe's
should be doing-
creativity.
You know how fast
Yeah.
we run out of F names?
Oh,
Fred
There's a
and
whole-
Frank.
I'm
I
just.
believe in you. I believe in you.
I was just.
I
You
just
know.
came up with an entire alliterated phrase off the
True.
top of my
Yeah,
head.
that was
Figure it.
one sentence. How many times am I going to say her name?
And I used the word fenestration, which I'm
Yeah,
not even sure is a
that's
real
true.
word.
Fenestration
Fenestration is my
sounds wrong.
favorite word.
Small secret. It's not a real word.
You're close.
Jono, what do you want to talk about here?
Well, let's start at the beginning.
Let's.
That's a very good place to start.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm a literary scholar. I'd like to start on page 262 of the hardback. I don't know if that's the same as the trade paperback, but it should be relatively close. Fager kneeled.
Yes.
I'd forgotten how much I liked
Neil?
this. Yeah, Fager kneeled, the bottom, the fourth entry, which is what.
I don't think I would have known his first name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember his first name either, besides just kind of briefly laughing because I got an IQ of about that. But Neil was the dude that Perrin at first was like scoffing at for being, literally as it says here, foppish. And then he becomes just a total, just badass. Such beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Does anybody else think it's super weird how this whole thing is organized, like randomly, whether or not
First name,
it's
last
first name, last
Yeah.
name, last name, first
It
name?
is very,
It's very annoying.
It's very random.
It's like,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're like, see the other entry in the exact same section.
A lot of
with the
times.
same
Also,
name.
it seems very arbitrary because, like, most of the time you know them by like the other name, like you know them by
Yeah.
their last names a lot. So,
Yeah.
but it'll be like Bornhold. No, get out of here. Go read whatever Jared. You know, and you're like Jared. Who? You know.
Joffrey.
Joffrin.
Did we ask Alan that when we had him on? Our first episode was with Alan Romanchuk, who's
No, but we should have him back on for R for that specific question.
Yeah. So we'll see. We emailed Harriet today to see if she would be on. So we'll see if we can ask her that for the letter H. If
She's not going to care or
she
remember.
wants to come on. Harriet's been on our show before. She would love to answer dumb questions about.
I'm not saying she wouldn't love to answer dumb questions. I'm just saying I don't think she's going to remember or care about that.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Wait, Benji and Chubane, you went to Charleston recently, didn't you?
Yes, I did back in May.
Oh, nice.
And did you see anything twat related?
I did. Yeah, I went to the College of Charleston library and
Yeah.
I did some research, and I also walked by Robert Jordan's house. And yeah, it was pretty magical.
You didn't like knock on the door?
No, I was
Go
really
ahead.
tempted though. I was tempted. It was very like inviting. The lights were on.
You don't know
porch.
me in any way, shape, or form, but I just like to peruse, walk around.
I mean, I was standing there taking photos for a while, and I felt a little creepy just doing that. So
I'm
figured it
sure
wasn't
that
gonna-
happens every other day.
Yeah.
maybe.
It's a fucking weird just to go there and like see the dragon on the door, on the gate, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal, and like know that he walked down those streets all the time. And
Yeah.
Did
It's
you
pretty
go
awesome.
in the house and you were there, Jono?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Jono and
did,
I both in there separate times, and we were invited in just to we were allowed.
I mean, Jono was invited. I hopped the fence. The gate was closed when I walked up, so I was like, "Well, fuck this, not going in."
Yeah. His office was probably like the weirdest, coolest thing that probably should have just been like its own documentary because it was filled with weapons and insanity and like every sort of weird thing you've seen in this book. Or, well, I guess this one works as a good start. Like there's just like strange, like relatively relevant things in there that are like, so that's where you got that? Like there's maps, there was all sorts of shit.
Yeah, it was.
Was it like
crazy.
hung up everywhere? Like every surface was.
They
part
were-
of
Every
everything?
surface was filled with books or things.
It
that
was, but they were already like in the process of like
selling.
packing everything up
Yeah.
and taking everything away and donating stuff.
that's
So
sad.
like it was still filled, like the whole like carriage house. If you guys know like a Charleston house is, they have the main house in the front, the thinner chair, the thinner carriage house in the back. That was their offices, and it was just like filled. Bottom and top story was just like filled with books and weapons and you're just like, and they're like, oh yeah, half of it's gone. I was like, half this was gone.
Yeah. What was
It's
this?
insane.
That,
I was like, how did you walk?
That
There's
was
a
the only
section
time-
where you'd have to like sidle through like stacks of books to like, and it's just like the size of a body sliding sideways through it or something.
I wonder if when he was writing, he was just like typey, and his eyes would just like catch sight of something, and then he would just be like, and that's going into whatever it is. Like, just like ADD writing,
That's-
getting it all in there.
There's a good chance. It's pretty much just usual suspects. It's just kind of like just grabbing names wherever he can. I like that. Makes much more sense than actually being, much more clever than he probably was.
Was there an owl in his office?
I mean, did you look at all of the names that are so similar?
If Maria is an owl, then yes. Yeah, there is a lot of similar names. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bet something about that room would make it into the Michael Livingston book, like
I
either a
hope so.
description of
Yeah.
it or something about it, because there is a biographical section. So I
Yeah.
bet
Yeah.
we'll hear about it. The Office.
Tell us more about this Michael Livingston book for our audience.
You haven't already told them about it?
You really put her on the spot with that one, John.
Yeah, it's
We
called.
don't have an audience.
It's called Origins of the Wheel of Time, and it's
We have 15.
awesome. And I went to a panel at JordanCon about it, and it was an incredible panel where we got
Yeah, Michael
readings
Livingston
from
is-
it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming out in November.
He's one of those
You can
people
pre-order.
that we like know through Alan and Amy and Maria and stuff, but we barely have spoken to him at all. And it seems like something that we're like, well, that was pretty dumb of us. We should have gotten to know him a little better over the years.
Mm.
It's almost like all we do is we go there and we drink and smoke. outside.
It's almost like we're not hanging out.
No.
Yeah.
All right,
Pretty
what about
good
Neil, Jono? I mean, Fager.
Good waste of that VIP badge to never go in anything.
Me going stuff.
Yeah. Well, ladies, at any point, feel free to interrupt with your own entry if you would like. Joe is my favorite entry. But I would like to go to my least favorite entry, which is on the next page. Fail Nibashir Taibara.
Can we jump back to Fager Nield?
Yeah, wait, we're talking about Nield.
Yeah.
So
I
You
would
can't
like
go right to Fail. You got to work up to Fail.
I would like to make
I
a
think we should skip forward
proposition
from Fael and go back to her later.
that
Safer.
so if
Go
Nield is a fop,
Yeah.
Yeah.
his first name should not be Fager.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems a little on
It
the
should
nose.
be Faget,
But,
Yeah,
Faget,
that'd be Faget.
different way with that.
right?
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna be a fop, you have to have a very fancy name.
Yeah.
Well, it
That's
doesn't
really
have a
fancy-
pronunciation.
fancier
guide. It
than
could
what
be
it is.
Faget.
Like Weeraman. Weeraman
Yeah.
should be your name if you're a fop.
Weeraman and Faget should have gotten together.
Yeah.
Silver boots.
maybe they did.
Yeah, maybe
That's
Maybe
very
they did.
possible.
You know that
Maybe
he did a
maybe
lot
they
of
did.
charging. So
into horse flesh.
I appreciated the hate.
Don't
that
call
it
Neil that.
seemed
It's whore's flesh. You said it weird, John.
Horse flesh or whores.
oh.
I like that they're choosing in this description of him sort of like the fat shaming that happens in the book a little bit, that they're equally shaming of this guy's pitiful mustache and how
The
they're just-
mustache shaming is pretty
so
good.
they don't
Yeah.
just fat shame in the definitions, they're also ripping this guy apart.
Also, I mean, fop is great, but I mean, you missed the
Dandy?
word dandy, and that's the best. He was a fop and a dandy.
Yeah.
And
Not
again.
just
Wait,
that's
what is the difference?
well,
between a
that's
fop
my
and a
question.
Like,
Why are they separate?
Now, I think a fop.
He was a fop and a dandy.
kind of
What?
douchey looking hair, but the dandy, he also dresses kind of, garish.
I think
Oh,
a dandy
alright.
would dress very
Okay.
dapperish, right?
Yeah.
A dandy has like a very nice.
I
style.
Yeah,
like,
it's-
but
it's
it's like
not the style.
I would picture like Matt times 10, like way more lace at their cuffs and stuff like that.
Mhm,
That's a dandy.
mhm.
I
A
think.
terrible
bright,
mustache.
bright colors.
And it's
The
sad that his
mustache-
mustache ruins the ambiance of his dandy excellence.
happened.
Did I? I'm thinking like Always Sunny in Philadelphia when they have that Back in Time episode, like that. If you've ever watched,
I did not watch that
Very-
show.
yeah.
I believe you.
I'm
Obviously,
imagining like Mr. Peanut level of terrible mustache,
yeah.
but
Alright.
a really cool top hat
And a monocle?
and a monocle.
Yeah. It's weird they have a monocle considering that he was made of two giant peanuts. You'd think he would kind of go bifocals just to kind of reflect himself.
Yeah.
I guess not bifocals, but two. But, the solitary peanut guy, that one that is always disappointed to crack it open, there's just one, that
Mhm.
seems like a monocle wearing guy
Mm.
to me. Well, let's
I
go
get
back
where you're
to
going. I get where you're going.
Nield. So not only was
Yeah.
he originally kind of easily mocked, at the end though he makes parents hammer. By the way, did you put the
Yeah.
spoiler thing up? That
Spoilers.
Okay.
No.
spoilers. Perrin gets a hammer. He calls it Love and Perrin Thunder.
I'll just put this up for the whole time.
I mean, maybe he really put himself in that hammer, Nield.
Describe this hammer now.
It's a 20-pound tip.
Yeah.
It's real hard to get in, but once it's on there,
Yeah.
so you can swivel. You can swivel around.
It's got a lot of power.
That's the true
Yeah.
definition of fop.
So, only thing I want to say about Fael though,
Why are you back on Fael?
Because I actually want to say something nice and supportive, real quickly.
Oh, interesting.
Wait.
This is a first for Jono.
Rereading her entry, which that just sounds fun too. This one tortured woman. It's like fucking miserable. Like every single thing that happens to her is pretty much after being caught by the Shido is awful.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But on the other hand, she sucked beforehand. So
Where do you guys fall on Fael for you? Where are you at?
I'm
Phil,
Where do I
Fael.
fall on her?
I'm
Yeah,
Fael.
how did-
I'm Team
Try not to
Fael.
fall on her.
Whoa! Stop talking all at the same time. Don't you guys have a show?
Aren't you a host and you should call on each of us one at a time?
I did. I said Philindra. How dare you?
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
How
I
dare you
didn't-
call me out, Brigitta and Couladin?
How long have you been sitting on that one?
I got a lot.
Those two don't even go together.
None of them mattered. None of them go together.
B and a C.
Have you been listening?
No.
All right, good. So how do you feel about Fayo?
I have to admit that for a long time I was not in the Fayo camp at all. Not a fan.
Okay.
I don't. She's a very insecure person, which bothered me a lot. But in subsequent, more mature readings, like I'm currently going through a reading, I sympathize with her more now. And the arguments that people make about how we only see Fail through parents, also ridiculously insecure perspective, kind of colors our opinion of Fail. So I'm trying to step back and read her more open-mindedly this go around. I'm currently on Path of Daggers, so
okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Let us know.
I'll let you know when the
There's a lot of pro Fail in the comments here.
I mean, I'm still not convinced, but I'm giving her another.
You're giving it a shot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Amy,
So I'll tell you where I fall on her. Probably
Get
her
out
notes.
of here, Jono. We all know what you think.
Yeah.
Amy's, what do you think about Fayo?
I think like almost every other character in these books, I hate her and I love her at about equally. Like there are things about her that absolutely drive me insane in the beginning, especially.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part, one of my favorite parts, is that whole dinner scene with Maureen at the inn, and she's like, "Eat the fish!" Like she just screams at her because she's obviously annoyed with Fayo, which I thought was such a weird break in character for Maureen, but she was like that pissed, and I was like, "I feel you, Maureen. Like this chick is annoying." But I mean, over time, I think I really liked a lot of the things that she did. I think she was really important. It's not her fault that the author wrote like this large, long 5-book or whatever it was, Shido arc. But I thought she was pretty cool character. Pretty cool character. I liked her more at the end. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
I became a fan when Massimo's scene happened. Everything else was forgiven, forgotten. Interesting, Anna. Interesting. Anas was on your show the other day, wasn't he?
He was.
He was.
He was fantastic.
Well, that's
He's pretty
nice.
great.
Jono, I guess tell me what you think.
Oh, I fucking hate her.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that was real quick. You didn't need to come back to me at all. Yeah.
Blair and Chessa, what do you think?
What do I think about Fail?
Yeah.
I think that at the beginning it's a little rocky, but given her age, I can understand why they had the type of relationship they did when they first started off. And then I don't know that I necessarily like her as a person, but I like her as a character, and I like the way that she grows and how she starts off as selfish and focused on hunting for the horn. And then at the end, it ends with her giving up the horn and learning how to be a true selfless leader. And I just think it's a very beautiful arc. And I think she's necessary to help Perrin actually embrace his leadership abilities. She teaches him a lot. And I really like their picnic scene as well, when she tries to adhere to the Two Rivers culture and does something for him in that way.
Yeah.
I just think
really
it's so
like
lovely.
that too, actually.
I do think that because I have such vitriol, and I only hate her probably half the time.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good, actually.
Some people really, really hate her.
Yeah, that's true.
It
Yeah.
does show that there's a lot of interesting writing there, and like you said, it was, she does have this obnoxious plot that pretty much no matter who you put into it would have been fucking annoying to read, because all you want to read is Rand, Matt, and everything else, instead of someone who's just stuck as a captive, right? That really isn't going to give you a shining light of a perspective to read. But she still is really goddamn annoying in places.
And it's not only that we see her through Perrin's insecurities, but it's Perrin smelling her feelings most of the time. It's not necessarily even her saying anything. It's not really fair. I think some of the feelings she was having are normal and valid that a person would have, but you wouldn't necessarily say anything about them.
Sure.
That's what you do when you're a mature human being. So I think that,
you're like furious, but you don't say anything, and you just kind of like quietly leave the room, and he's like, Fail's mad at me.
Yeah, and then he acts on it, and then it just makes things worse. And so I feel for her, and I think she gets too much hate.
Interesting.
Yeah, I agree
I like
completely.
that perspective.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah, it's not fair that she's matched up with Perrin, who's not necessarily the most like emotionally like in control of what he's feeling and thinking, let alone the fact that he has some weird sixth sense into how she's feeling and thinking.
Yeah. I mean, neither of them are, which is why, but they do grow together.
Can you imagine being with someone who like knows how you feel all the time? That would be terrible.
He'd be the most amazing therapist, though, right? Like, let's think about it. Like, tell me how you feel. Like, well, about this. Like, yeah. Oh, you're lying to me. I know how you feel. I'm so scared about that. Like, why?
But it's not really any different than being bonded, right? Except it's just it's unfair to Fail because it's a one-sided bond, right? Like he knows what she's feeling all the time, but Fail doesn't necessarily.
It's a little less. It's a little. I mean, I know what you're saying is valid sense, but like it's just a little less than that. It's not like he's like he knows literally what she's feeling. Like it's just like a hint or a sense of like.
Right, but he acts on it as if he does know.
That's true.
He's like, I know. I'm like, no, Perrin, dumbass, you don't know.
Yeah, and it's not like
pretty sure wolf senses would screw with any relationship.
They're not transmitting exact thoughts to each other unless they're Andral and Pavara. Everybody else, it's also just a feeling. So
yeah.
So there is a little bit of a similarity there. But...
Ladies,
say that again.
Next entry. What do you guys got on your notes? And obviously, you may not have had time to get notes. And full disclosure,
I don't think we should go down this path because we already know we all don't have notes. Let's just flip around and look. What do we got?
Well, I love that Lane and Phelan or whatever. I hate them both, and both have practically the same fucking names.
I hate that those are their names, and I
never remember who's who. Them. And they both suck.
Which people? Phelan and
the
Valian and Phelan.
And then
just moving out.
Lane or whatever her name is.
Yeah, both of them.
Can't.
And they're both kind of like distasteful, one more so than the other. But it is hard to tell them apart.
That's my only comment on those.
Like the entry that makes me laugh the most is Grayor Fren.
And what page?
Yeah, 284.
I didn't make it that far.
A Two Rivers man who watched the forging of Melindhra.
He's a voyeur.
He just watched.
That's all he did.
That's his whole.
He's just getting quenching oil and just stopped him. Check out that tip.
I mean, I was annoyed when Bain&Chiad came back with all of her notes about everything she found out about the Aiel from the Robert Jordan's notes, and the note about Melindhra was a maiden, but I feel like this is almost worse.
Yeah, because is it better to just be like, this is it, period, or would it, or just adding this weird like he likes to stare at Perrin while he pounds the hammer.
It's his half all slick with oil.
Man, we got Niald in there, so maybe there's a thing.
People like
also Fael used to,
maybe he's cool with it.
That's what Fael did back in the day.
No
like when
here.
She was just sitting on a barrel in the corner, just staring at him while he worked.
She already had that. It's all right.
That's because she was hunting for his horn.
Yeah, that's right.
Now,
she just shifted horns.
That's why she didn't need the horn in Bel-Air anymore, because she found the horn she was looking for.
Right.
She didn't really
happen
it that much.
Yeah. I would read that passage, by the way. Found the horn you're looking for.
I want to know two things. What's inscribed on that horn and what happens when you blow it?
I can show you both.
Please not today.
Jono, you're the best.
All right, fine.
I also want to know what
love is
dangerous fish of editorial nature actually means when it comes to fangfish.
Yeah.
What is an editorial nature?
That was such a strange entry.
What does that mean? 267, Fangfish. So
267. Thank you.
I don't know what that means. A dangerous fish of editorial nature.
I suspect
Maybe it's what he.
Dangerous? It may not
It's
be.
a dig at Harriet.
Yeah.
It's Harriet. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, all right. I didn't know that.
That's my guess.
I mean,
Could
we're
it
guessing.
be something that Swan uses to make an editorial statement, like in one of her metaphors or something, maybe?
True, she does.
That's interesting.
Does a lot of fish metaphors.
Way to put it on a serious level. You know, just putting actual thought into this. Very strange.
Ours is a higher echelon thought because we took it out of the book,
Gotcha.
and we know he likes to make fun of his wife.
Does he?
Who doesn't? Yeah. I would like to pour one out for the entirety of Shinar on page 265. Foul Eason. Ashman set the city afire during the last battle. Foul Moron. Raised during the last battle to impede the progress of the Trolloc army. Val Scion doesn't say it necessarily, but it was really close to the border forts. So pretty much, and Faldara obviously also burned down during the last battle.
Yeah.
Literally every city you've heard of in Shinar.
I feel like all the borderland
All
cities
the burning.
died at that
Yeah.
point. What was the city that Idelrod was in again? On the other side. That totally got destroyed too. I feel like they were all just trash.
Oh yeah.
Was that a city or like more like a fort outpost thing?
I thought it was the town up there. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he had
Oh,
to.
no,
He had
you're
to
right,
like
you're right, you're
rescue people. Yeah, like
Yeah, you're right.
like hold off so people could leave, civilians.
Yeah.
You're right. Mhm.
Sorry, we're not on I, but I just remember that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Skip ahead.
Usually we yell at our guests for bringing up anything that has to do with other letters.
Very disappointing.
It's okay, Amy's.
We expect professionalism of the highest echelon.
Let's
Out
talk
of
about
everyone
Fane,
else.
comma Patton.
Yeah.
It says C Patton Fane.
We can't look at it.
Don't
We
look.
can't talk about it.
Can't look
It's
at
a
it. Can't
peak.
talk about it.
We also
It's a
can't talk
keyword.
about Fardari's mind.
I know, I saw that too.
That's the whole reason we're here, and you can't even talk about it.
We can't talk about it because
Well,
You know what,
that
put
is
them on mute.
ridiculous. Let's talk about it anyway. What do you guys?
Jared, put them on mute. They're not supposed to be on this one. So
Okay, hold on. I'll tell you. I'll put them
you
back.
done fucked up.
invite them on and mute them. We'll talk to them later.
All right, we're gonna have you guys back on for M.
Okay, sounds good.
I also thought page 276. I never remembered this at all. Fetchers are another name for Myrddraal? Like, who
Yep.
says that?
Fetch.
says
I believe it's in the south. I think that it's in Ilion.
Is it Ilion?
Yeah, because I think if I'm remembering correctly,
That
the
actually
lady
sounds
who
right.
actually is in charge of the easing the badger. Says next, tell me that Fetch is running with this.
Oh
and,
yeah, she did. Yeah, that's
like,
right.
right
Wow,
after
good
she says
memory,
about
Fano.
the,
Wow,
yeah,
look at that.
because
You're getting
That's
backed
like
up too.
Wetlander
Fetch is an
nonsense.
Ilion, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't remember that at all.
I like all the names that they had for the fades, but then it kind of just dropped off. Like they stopped kind of doing it a lot. You know, it was
Myrddraal.
just like Myrddraal or Fade, and that was it.
Yeah.
Every once in a while it would come. It was pretty strong with like Perrin and the Wolf Brother.
it was
talking
cool
stuff.
regionalism, right? Like the kind of shows
Yeah,
of like disparate cultures and all that.
Yeah.
But eventually, fuck it, which is one of the F's.
Fuck.
Who are we
But
having
I
on for
think
G?
I think you could argue.
we
if you
actually
were-
don't know.
If you were gonna go academic about it, is as traveling was rediscovered, like the cultures started to blend more together, and so commonalities in language, absolutely,
Okay.
the Dragon Reborn can cause that kind of stuff in the pattern.
That's
so,
true.
so
It's
you
like
could
this is the way
say-
I say it, so this is it.
Yeah, it's just
Not
like what
using
happened
your
in the
other
Two
words.
Rivers, right? Like
Yeah.
all of that
Homogenizing
blending,
the pattern. Yeah.
homogenizing happened. So maybe same with the different ways of talking about my BFF, the eyeless. Yeah.
Really good friends with them.
Yeah.
So I think of all the entries in here, my favorite, as from an actual academic, and Fane and Chiad, because I'm not going to go with Joe's efforts of changing names every time. I don't know if you guys read the farm adding one. The
Yeah.
farm adding entry
It's cool.
has some shit in here that I don't believe I was aware of, which is my favorite part about the companion.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're actually seriously doing
From
on
an
the
actual
show
academic
while we're doing this.
Yeah.
Is to like, try to take note of the things that aren't necessarily in the like the books proper, and there's like, so there is a little bit of those in every letter, but like, what's in formatting that wasn't in the books, Jono?
So on
Yeah.
270,
I love formatting. It's interesting to me.
on 270, like growing up reading the books as they came out, like I would always read about like, as the glossary changes, which is of course a horrible TV show, and about how false dragons, there'd be a listing of them, there'd be Raylan Darksbane and Urian Stonevow, and they're both apparently from formatting, which when you eventually go there, you say, what the fuck sense does that make? And it would be a fascinating conversation of like, what happens to people who never leave, that kind of thing. But I don't know. But on the third paragraph in 270s, after talking about the two false dragons, because of this, the city somehow acquired a Terangriel known as the Guardians, which could detect a man's channeling. It also detected women's. So they acquired it after 1300 AB, which is after the breaking. So they had to have done it after that, during the Second Covenant kind of thing, at the earliest. And that brings up so many weird questions. Obviously, that's a different timeline, 2,000 plus years ago. But how do you acquire this? From where did it come?
Yep.
Who installed it? Like it's a lot of, what the fuck's my cat doing? A lot of things going on. These are all questions for the Wheel of Time. A lot of, like, if you had just told me it was in here the whole time and they walked out of the city and then I guess channeling puberty hit them and they just collapsed on the ground. Like, oh, okay, that made sense. People leave their town.
Yeah.
But to instead say like it was brought to the city after the fact, it's really interesting.
Yeah, that's weird. I would have imagined it would have been a lot easier to acquire things like that at that time period, though, like because it wasn't too. I don't know.
This is a pretty big train.
Objects of the power just scattered around the landscape at that point.
Like, where do you find this that detects? Like, you think this would be pretty?
It is a wildly specific thing to acquire.
It turns like the color blue
Yeah.
and red.
I mean, if it was like a tier situation where they just got everything they could possibly get, and
Yeah.
had something to do with it, like it would make more sense.
It
When
does
was
seem
Catswain
like
born? Maybe Catswain had something to do with it.
She was born in formatting, but it seems like this
No, but
predating
look.
time,
When she's
But
like
when
she's
though?
only like
She's old.
300
about 300 years ago, as
Yeah,
opposed
like
to
Okay.
We
three
don't-
something.
we don't know necessarily when this Terangriel was
705 new era.
installed. But also, if I had this Terangriel, I'm not fucking like, and everyone's obviously afraid of male channelers. I'm not fucking selling it to a city. I'm not like, I'm keeping it wherever the hell it
Oh,
is.
that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
It's just
I wonder, given their proximity to Tyr, I wonder if, like, the story could be that somehow in Tyr's like mad grab of all the things, like somehow, a merchant train got waylaid or whatever, and
Maybe they just
Formatting
offered
ended
the right
up with
price.
the stash,
you
just
know?
kind of lucky, and
Yeah.
figured it out.
well, please note, Tyr may not have existed as a nation at the time either.
Well,
I'm just kidding,
Right.
but 'cause I don't know. if
a
they did
precursor
that,
to Tyr, whatever was Tyr before Tyr.
Yeah, and I would assume, considering that history was at least 3,500 years, really, of Kalendor, right? That they always had that.
Too big for tier. Interesting. I feel like it would fit. Like I could be wrong. I think it would fit.
Or Tyr is too big for it, because Farmatting's, while a large city, certainly not a capital like Tyr or Ilion.
Yeah.
But anyway, just a weird, like, that's why I was really excited to read this one. Or read this book. It's just a weird shit in it.
Do you think when they put this together, do you think when they say this because there's places in this where they say somehow or possibly some other entry, they're like possibly fake or possibly fictional, I mean, do you think they were leaving room for potential future stories, or
I don't hate that at all.
Because I like that somehow acquired a Terran.
You mean like
a
for
whole
Brandon
book.
Sanderson to come back in and write
Yeah.
some more?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was
Or
intentional,
someone
but
else.
I feel like it doesn't necessarily mean they were making room, but I think it's definitely like stuff they just didn't know and just had to gloss over because they didn't know.
Yeah.
A lot of this is based on his notes. So I mean,
Yeah.
the fact, and that's where you get that like extra bits of information of like where this came from or how it was acquired or whatever. But I don't know if they left vagueness in there for future writing. I think it's probably more like along the lines of like, we actually don't know, so let's not conjecture. And
I believe it was something.
I would love that to be the case, though.
I believe it's something similar to in Austin Powers when they kept asking him about the Swedish-made penis launcher, and he's just like, I don't know how it's not. I don't know how it got in there. Really, just how that is. Amy's I really like that one, huh?
It's Austin Powers joke, Jono.
Yeah.
Austin Powers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's a new book. It's a new movie, by the way. You guys should check it out. You missed it. It was in the A's.
I thought it was interesting that there's like 3.5 pages on formatting, which I love because I find
that was crazy. Yeah.
Because I was like, there's so much detail in this book about it, and there's like one section of a book about it besides Cat Swain, but like it's just really one.
When I think of book 9, I think of formatting. Like that to me is the quintessential. This is where book 9 happens, which is weird because so much cool shit happens with Matt. But like that's Lan and Rand on the rooftop.
You do learn a fair amount.
I love that
It's a
scene.
really cool part of the books. I just found it was like so much compared to what else is in this companion. Like you said, it can be like one sentence, and then this is 3.5 pages. And I love
it's interesting how like some characters that you're like, they should have more about them in here. Like Pat and Fane, I feel like Pat and Fane, I feel like that entry is not long enough.
Well, I think
and then
there's also like comparing it to the big white book, right? So it's like what was in that versus what's in this. There's a little bit of that.
We should cover
That's
that. We should cover the big white book next.
Never.
Yeah, that'll be your next one.
You should. You know what you should do, Joe, is an art review.
Oh yeah, I could
All
talk
that.
about that.
You
all
could bring in
day.
artists that have done like
Talk
new
about
art.
stylistically.
That would be amazing.
successes.
I base it. I mean, that's kind of why I hate that book, honestly.
Yeah, but you should take
Because
it
I'm sure
completely
it's fine
serious.
as an encyclopedia for when it came out. It's not like
Between
comprehensive
books 7
as
and
this
8.
one, but like the art in it is really, really good, and I will talk about it all day. I love every painting.
I bet you do.
I think the funniest part about it might be like in the middle of it, it says like some paintings of questionable origin, and it's the book covers, which we all have thoughts on the book covers. It's a weird thing, and maybe it's not meant that way, but it's a weird thing for the art in that book to be looking askance at the book cover. Like,
The big white book is no longer white. They gave it new artwork for the front cover. I did see that.
Yeah, it's got some like brownish thing.
It's just got like art all over the cover. I don't know if it's like really like identifiable as a color anymore.
I don't know, but the drag car in that gives me nightmares. I'm gonna be honest. It's like your anime nightmare of fun.
Yeah.
That
Did you guys see the
that
new,
drag car is so bad.
the new Eye of the World cover?
So bad. That was a hilarious tweet, by the way.
Thank you.
I think I said this is the funniest tweet you've ever done.
Yeah, but it's very low.
Jono just took a picture of the new Eye of the World cover, and it's just like, and he just said, "Where's Nicolas Cage?" Because it's just like Moraine and Lan.
Lan and a Glean on their horses. Or Lan and Moraine.
I remember that. But
the others are gone.
Did you guys see what I responded?
I don't know how to read.
Because they didn't just erase.
In
Nicolas
fairness,
Cage.
I was on vacation that week, and I didn't see a lot of responses.
They also erased like half of Mandarb's ass.
What?
They did?
Yeah.
Wait,
Really?
what did you?
His butt is not there. There is no
His ass is
Mandar butt.
It's so sad.
It's missing.
They just
Why would you
they
do
just
that?
trimmed. You know, he's overweight and he's a little self-conscious, so they just trimmed a little bit off the back.
Was
It's
very
muscular.
minimalist and not Maximus.
No, he's fat.
Yep, you are.
Lan used to say it all the time in the books. Do you remember?
We're gonna do the thing
You're
Joe
like,
hates.
all right, let's get on our horses.
The
Oh my God,
Mandar's
I really did.
You are correct.
There's no but.
I feel like that's somebody in graphic design just like mistakenly not, like
Yeah, they
also
took out
like
a
this
layer.
subject, just really crappily
Yeah.
separating them and not
Force
paying
ass layer
attention.
delete.
Bring back Dar Butt. Thank you,
Very
Rob.
sad. Obviously, I would notice the ass stuff.
Yeah,
I did not notice that. And yeah,
They
the horse's ass.
shortchanged Man Darb's ass.
Like, because that thing goes
He's got booty for days.
3 feet.
I don't know what this is in reference to, but you're M.R. Halley's new drinking hero. Cheers. What are you drinking? Oh, okay.
Oh, Topo Chico.
Maybe he recognizes it.
I don't like
No,
that.
I've just started to really like these.
I
'Cause
don't
I
like
really like margaritas a lot. But I don't have any tequila, so
There you go. We've gotten very not far into the word,
We've
the
done
letter F.
Oh, we got a good bit of effing right here.
I mean, we've
So
got
much
a,
effing.
we've got a decent amount of effing. I've got a few. Farshaw, comma Min. See Min Farshaw. That's one of my favorite ones. I also like
I love that
Farstrider,
impression.
comma Jane. See Jane Farstrider.
I know. I
That's
was
a good
like,
one.
what?
We're 0 for 3. Can't talk about anything.
You can't.
Faithful Concord. I just want to point out we have my favorite character. Lot of pussy to come.
Oh yeah, that's your favorite character.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
What's
in
her
the
actual
end.
name?
Lots of pussy to come.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's not an F.
It's Latra. Yeah, but she's into Faithful Concord.
Yeah, the faithful
I know.
Concord. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
About the Concord?
Yeah.
I think it's amazingly sexist what you women would do.
Feel free
Nothing.
to kill him. It's fine.
Yeah. I invite as much as possible.
Feels like you're holding back.
I don't know why you guys thought it was a good idea to invite Maidens of the Spear on your show.
I mean, I did hear that Melindhra is like a Maidens of the Spear like world champ, right?
Yeah. No, Maiden's Kiss. Maiden's Kiss World
Maiden's
Champ.
Kiss. That's what I meant.
Mhm. Yes,
It's a little
World
bit.
champ.
world champ.
What does that mean, by the way? Does that mean you stab the most men, or does that mean you like get the closest? Like, does that put you in first
That
place?
smile says a lot.
You get the closest, or is your spear going into someone's neck?
It depends on the man.
And the neck.
Interesting. Well, the
Yeah,
men are
the
losing the game,
owls.
period. But if
Yeah.
you're
Not
competing against the other
necessarily.
maidens playing Maiden's Kiss,
Yeah.
what makes you first place out of those maidens? Is what I'm saying.
I
Are you
have
closest
the most
without actually
discerning
cutting?
taste.
Hmm. Interesting.
The
Okay.
hands.
Hmm.
All
Well,
the
how-
men I play with are enthusiastic consenters, so they never.
Oh, so there's
Yeah,
not
that's
murder,
a requirement.
right? So
Maiden's
not
Kiss.
murder.
No, just
enthusiastic
people who
consenter.
really are into like getting stabbed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have a blood drawing fetish.
Yeah. Tell us more about that drag car, by the way. Speaking of,
They don't actually draw
Draw your
blood.
blood.
from it. They just suck
Sure.
your soul out of your body.
Yeah, they're not as
Yeah.
fun. There's no blood involved.
it's just souls. So no gingers.
Boring.
We're all right.
But they have some cool capes. I was actually wondering when you said that you got invited in to Robert Jordan's house
Mhm.
if you were part drag car.
Yeah.
Yes.
You actually have to put on a cape to walk in like that. You have to kind of, and they give you fake teeth, that kind of thing. It's a very
Mhm.
strange household.
You are kind of pale, so
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
definitely. This is me after a week in Mexico.
What sunblock do you put on?
as a
1,000?
fellow ginger, I'm very proud of you. Actually, good job.
What's funny, Joe, is I thought you said what sunblock do you put on. I was like, excuse me.
Be
That's-
Brackus, Jono.
Not very fair. I use SPF 40 just for those who need to know, who have pale skin and red hair, and it works well for me. And also, should be noted, by the way, when it just because the sunscreen is expired, it's good for months.
How much do you reapply? For a few minutes?
No, I just stay out of the sun. Just get under an umbrella, and it ends up the sun does not penetrate that. Who knew, right? Yeah. So
Can
I
you,
only
can you say that one more time, please?
Say it one more time.
the sun doesn't penetrate.
Yeah.
Penetrate.
There we go.
I could do that all day long. Well, actually, I can't. My wife is very disappointed in that, but I can say it.
We need some clarity from from the wife.
Oh no, don't worry. She's
she's a
not
blow.
real.
She's not real.
She's not real.
Yeah.
Um,
She'll tell you whatever she wants.
I guess we should talk about something. And Father of the Lie is another name for the Dark One. Do you guys know that? I thought that was interesting.
Another good
I
regionalism.
didn't know
Good
that.
note.
Rand
Good
calls
note.
him that a lot in The Eye of the World.
Yeah.
Because what?
I know you, I was not being serious, but also
sorry.
yes. Go on. Yeah, he does call him that a lot.
It's not a bad name for someone, although it's also, excuse me, Father of Lies is probably a good pickup artist.
You think the Dark One's picking up a lot of ladies?
Dozens
One of my
every day.
How do you know he likes ladies?
one of my
You
theories
don't,
is that
you
he's
don't.
my dad, so he's got to pick up somebody.
I think the dark one can go into Teleron
we can. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there, but we can.
Let's go back. There's a lot to unpack. Let's go on with your.
No, go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, go.
Oh, I was just thinking, do you think that the dark one can go into Teleron and have sex with people if he wants?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, he could be getting a lot of ladies or Drakkar or Trollocs or whatever.
Dark One's definitely following
whatever.
Yeah. You die, fair game, man.
How do we know the Dark One is a he? That's excellent.
Or
Does
she,
any-
whatever, in it.
An NB.
I think that let's see. I'm trying to think of like when who is it? Is it Sam? Is it Samuel?
feel
One
like-
of them is there, like kind of about the Dark One's laughter in his ears. I'm trying.
It
to
would be
think.
hilarious if it was a female with a giant booming voice like that, though.
Hello, Joe.
What is it? have to
Why
be
is it high
high-pitched?
pitched? Why is it high pitched?
Why is that necessary?
I don't
It
know.
was like a
It felt
plane.
weirder to be like that high.
I like a
pitched.
Wizard of Oz scenario where they're like talking into a cone behind a curtain.
Yeah. Thinking we could pull some Kate Blanchett, Galadriel energy
yeah,
out of
there you
that.
go.
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
One's just
That's
some
really good.
guy from
Yeah.
Kansas. Is that what you're saying?
Guess she's not going to be wearing that ring. Yeah, she should not be carrying it.
That's a terrifying Dark One right there. They should cast her.
She's very excited. Let's get back on track. I'd like to go to
Are you
page
implying the
270.
Dark One was grooming that young buff sheep herder Randall Thor?
Totally.
Really?
Showing up in his dreams.
Yeah. Okay.
Grooming is such a great term when used not with real people.
Dark Lord of Bullshit tested poorly with Dark. Glenn,
I don't know, I
stop
kinda
making
love
good
it.
comments.
Yeah.
It's very
He really wants to be on your G episode.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Actually, our G episode is going to be just Joe's G spot. It's going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah.
That's why Glenn wants to be on it.
It'll be
Yeah.
pre-recorded
Oh.
though.
By the way,
Oh,
that G
okay.
spot,
Live? Ooh.
about 3 inches in, kind of. How far do you think your prostate is, Joe? We haven't tested in a while.
I mean, it's been a while. I don't know.
It's been a while.
You're the one who's up there.
Guess I probably should get that rechecked. Back to
What
the
about
book.
Fell, Herod? See Herod fell.
See, Herod fell.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I want to talk about
It's a
Robert
shitload
Jordan.
of those in the F words.
I want to talk about Robert Jordan and what he thinks of the beautiful religion of Judaism.
Dangerous
Is that
ground
an
we're
S?
going on here.
I did not.
On page 273, the Feast of Lights, which we all know is Hanukkah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
So
with
if
you
guys
so
remember,
far.
in book 6, the Feast of Lights is a party of wild abandon with candles everywhere. Again, similar to kind of celebrating oil and all that back in days of yore in the Old Testament. So he's on, and then he thinks that apparently it's just a wild sex party with nobles and commoners kind of getting together.
I think it's a combination. I don't think it's just Hanukkah. I think it's also a combination of like.
You don't think, is that not what happens in Hanukkah in Charleston?
Yeah.
You know?
maybe Hanukkah Charleston's a little different.
This is
I-
the Feast of Lights. Says it
I
right
wouldn't
here.
dare presume to know, but yeah,
I mean,
because
solstice-
Yeah, I think it's
more like
what-
solstice, right?
Yeah, solstice
or what-
has a lot of candles
yeah.
and
Lots
lights.
of
Or it's just
candles
like,
and
that's
wild
where
romping
Judaism
and-
got that idea of, like this spawned that, not the other way
Yeah,
around kind of thing. That the idea of like legends, moving on to the next thing.
Well, I think Judaism.
Which came
had
first? It's a
something.
cycle, Jono.
Christianity's the one who stole solstice and all of that stuff. But
Let's see. You know what? You're right, Joe.
Yeah, it's all a circle.
Yeah,
Just
that
comes
one
back
cast
around.
the role in the audience like
Mm.
hell. So, yeah. I can keep this up all day.
Ayush actually considering his Asian influence in his writing and all. The festival sounds quite a bit like Diwali.
Ah, I see. He has watched.
Sans the sex part.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, this is good.
So we're back to
Thanks
pagan.
for
the
you.
Office episode of Diwali. Yeah.
Okay, could be Diwali.
Yeah.
Good to know.
If you guys want to have a good time, have you read the entry on Fedwin Moore on page, I believe, I got that one wrong.
273.
Yeah. That dude's, I always loved him as a Asherman, but his death is probably one of the most creepy fucking things. If you remember what happens, it's right after the end of book 8.
Yeah.
And he feeds him the cup of sleep, being the name of the chapter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is a dark fucking chapter. So like rereading, it's like Fedwin Moore, I remember that name, and then oh god, and like it creeps out even what's his dick?
Shiva.
Thank you. Well, no, not Shiva. The actual Mazrim Taim.
Oh,
Yeah.
Taim is just like, what's wrong with you, man? Which is not a good thing. If that,
yeah.
if that fucked up son of a bitch is looking at you sideways, it's not good.
That's depressing, Jono. You brought up a real permanent NyQuil.
Do you think that scene is gonna make it into the show?
I hope
so.
something like that makes it into the show, just because it's
It's awful.
emotional and rich, and it shows an aspect of like what being an Ashman is going to be like.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that it notes that he got the herbs from Nynaeve, gave to him to drink, and he drank too much of it, is what it says in the companion, which I thought was interesting because the whole step in like thing on the show, obviously not the situation. They did the exact same thing, right? He took them to ease his mind, and then he drinks all of it, right? Sorry, show spoilers, but just in case you haven't seen it. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's a really good call.
I didn't connect that.
Yeah, maybe they won't.
Thank you.
Maybe they won't redo it for that exact reason, though. Because that was similar.
True.
They have to show them going mad, right? Like they have to get into that.
But they did do that cold open at the very, very beginning, kind of. But it's different. It's a different take on it. But
yeah.
I wish we had more time just to like fuck around, because I'd love to know what you guys think of like the actual show proper. Obviously, that's a giant topic that isn't in the Fs unless you said fuck. That's a long time. But so much of that show is just kind of like fun to discuss, fun to watch, but at the same time, some people have frustrations. Those are all Fs, fun, and frustration, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very articulate. But we don't have time. So Joe, take us away next.
Take us away next.
Yeah, you got another entry, right? You did all your reading?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. Hold on.
Melindhra, take us away. What do you got?
Fennel. C, gray fennel, red fennel, and white fennel.
That's a good entry.
Bain and Chiad?
Do I have one that I like?
Yes.
Fingar, Ewan. C, Ewan, Fingar.
these are really good. You guys are
Really
bringing up a
excited
lot
to-
of salient points tonight, and I really enjoy it.
We are cunning.
Do you
I like
realize?
the 5 finger.
Yeah.
A root used in ointment to heal bruises. Who names it 5 finger? Like, what? I don't remember that, but
Maybe it
If
looks
you
like
drink
this.
5 fingers, you feel really good. Your bruises just disappear.
It's like because ginger can kind of look like handish. So maybe
Yeah, maybe that's
maybe
what it
that's
is.
what it looks like.
Oh, a little gnarled, like
Oh,
gnarled
hand-
hand.
hand
Little
looking.
gnarled Senbui hand, you know?
Or do you
Yeah.
think it was from
you're
like the
ruining
use
my
of
5 finger imagination. Stop saying Senbui.
Yeah.
That was the root.
Oh, we're talking about
growing.
fucking? Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Just
Good
the
old
root.
roots. Fade and
Growing
Fiad,
upward.
you got anything?
I feel like 5 fingers would add bruises.
Maybe it's after you've been hit by 5 fingers.
Wouldn't
What
that
about
be the
Field of
fists
Marilord? You
heaven?
guys want to discuss the last battle a little bit?
Ooh,
with
I have
Field of
asked
Marilord?
Fade and Fiad if she had anything.
Oh,
You-
sorry. Oh, you mean
What?
Balwar and Catswain? You said her name wrong. That's
I
why.
already
didn't
said
catch
mine.
it.
You and Finger.
Yeah, she said one.
I was trying to. Oh, I had a dumb joke for you and Finger, which, by the way, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Finger,
Why-
comma,
Why
Ewan.
would it not matter? That always matters.
Yeah. Finger, comma, Ewan definitely sounds like something that like they kind of laughed at every time. Like, Ewan and Finger. But anyway.
Did
Next,
you
I
and
thought it
Finger
was
ever
about sheep.
spend the coin that Moraine gave him?
to this day, she still knows where that son of a bitch is.
I mean, don't you think that's a little slight compulsion on Moraine's side there? That little coin.
I don't
Sure.
know. I think
Yeah.
I think it was a little like I knew whatever everything fucking was by Robert Jordan, and he was just kind of like, she has a thing and it's a trinket. Like I mean, you could certainly read into it now, like as after this many rereads, and be like, that was definitely something going on there. But
It's a little
I
creepy.
don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, because there's this.
it's just an Apple
there's-
tag. You know?
There's the whole thing
That's true.
about
Those are creepy.
having an affinity with people you've healed, right? So that's
Yeah.
so
But that was abandoned. Like I've always like, and I didn't mean to jump in.
I
but
mean,
that-
you mean between
that-
Nynaeve and Egwene?
Yeah, like that's never really brought up again, right? How many battle
I don't think
sides?
they ever need it really after that.
But again, like everyone has healed Rand at this point, right? No one really can
Mhm.
find them well. There's so many times that people like have healed each other that's never mentioned that there is that similarity. There's that not similarity, but there's that kind of instinctive knowledge. Nynaeve tracked Egwene, 300 miles almost, all the way up through the 2 rivers to Baerlon on that kind of like, yes, she's an amazing tracker and she follows some things,
Mhm.
but she knew which end to go to. There's no symbol. There's no sign. You don't have that later on.
Lan was just like breaking twigs the whole way.
Like
Dumb
tossing
dick.
them.
She was
Yeah.
just trying to let him off lightly. She's like, oh yeah.
He was turning over cobblestones in the street and
Other
like little
thing.
shapes of an arrow. It pointed right at the end.
How did you train him?
That's how you know Nynaeve was falling for Lan, because she just like she wouldn't tell him the truth that he's just
Yeah.
really bad at hiding his track. She's like, yeah, Moraine has a towel. Yeah, I healed Egwene once.
I thought that was hilarious. The Moraine has a tail thing was so funny because I was like, they're being chased by like hundreds of Trollocs. Like, it's not that hard of a trail to follow. I don't think. I mean, assuming that they're finding them, but I didn't think it was that difficult. I didn't leave a trail. Yeah,
So do we think
everyone
that-
following you left a trail.
In the show, now that Egwene healed Nynaeve from death, that she's going to be able to track her instead of the other way around.
It's interesting.
Ooh.
I was actually going to say something about that. Maybe it has to do, Jono, with like the fact that Egwene was about to die, like as a child. Like maybe it's like the stronger the healing, the stronger the connection. So maybe they don't mention it because like Rand's just like, I don't know. He is often dying. Rand's a bad example.
Where's
Also, wouldn't
Rand?
that
I don't
drive
know.
like an Aes Sedai, especially a yellow? Wouldn't that be insane? If
Yeah.
like think
You just
about
like
people-
constantly know where like thousands of people are.
Bing, 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 bing. Like people are pinging you.
It's like
You're just
Professor
like,
X.
oh, thank God that guy died. One less, you know?
It'd be perfect for a Black Ajah yellow, though, right? Who could be
Yeah.
like, you owe me a favor. I saved you 6 years ago. You're gonna fucking do this. If not, I can also kill you just this easily.
Maybe they're
There's
holding it
some-
for the new books, you know, book
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Can't wait for it.
I used to brought up. I mean, back to the coin thing just for a second. I think he spent it, but back in the first book itself. But also, wasn't his coin just normal because she thought he was too young? And I'm pretty sure that's correct, actually. Like, I think she just was like, "And here's a coin for you, kid. I don't care about." And it wasn't like
it was a
attractive.
different coin. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
think that
less
was.
money.
I think that was the case. I could be wrong.
I mean,
don't
what if
remember.
she just trying to be careful, though, right? And why not just give coins to everyone, right?
just give him out.
Yeah.
She's
Listen,
gonna
Bran.
trap all of them.
I know you're the the mayor, but maybe.
Speaking of Bran, who's kind of a larger man himself, there was a very valid point earlier about the fat shaming that happens in these books. This is a quality post here. On page 275, Farine Naharin, Aes Sedai from Domani, Aradomin. I want to point out the fact this Farron was decidedly plump, even dumpy.
It's just awful.
That's so.
Is it
Dumpy.
awful or just like a harsh description, or just like a bluntly
I feel
honest
like
description?
Dumpy doesn't mean the same.
But it's a
Dumpy
lot
is
in the books.
not the same descriptor to my mind. Like that's someone who they don't have to be.
Oh,
Incorrect.
maybe she's straddling the line between plump and dumpy. I mean, you know,
Dumpy
there's-
is not fat though. Dumpy is someone like when I kind of just dressed a little dumpy today. Like not really trying to like
isn't it?
not
Well,
necessarily.
maybe both because she's brown, right?
Maybe.
So,
Maybe
Like,
it's
that's a harsh.
no, meaning like she doesn't.
no,
really-
I get it. I like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet, don't forget though, she can still use those Damani flirty skills. Is what it says right afterwards.
There was another reference to somebody. I can't remember. Another as wide as he is tall, but it was but he was a Kyrianan, so
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's not yeah.
he wasn't even that tall.
So he's not
but
that
he
wide.
wasn't that tall.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not that wide.
yeah. I just really.
Dumpy, the eighth dwarf.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Fulton. A Kyrianan farrier in Perrin's camp in Gildon. Only a fringe of white hair remained on his head. He had broad shoulders and thick arms, and seemed nearly as wide as he was tall, though as a Kyrianan, he was not very tall.
Seems like a roundabout way of going like he was fat, but not really that fat. But he was fat, but not fat.
He was short, kind of broad, but anyway,
He was as fat as he was tall, but also not that fat, not that tall, so not that fat.
Yeah.
Really weird way of describing that.
In my head, it's like he's like some sort of like slinky bungee thing that just keeps going like this.
Like a stretch arm fat.
It's like a Mr. What's that like that
Mr.
superhero that's
Stretch
Armstrong. Stretch Armstrong, thank you.
Yeah.
He says stretch arm fat because
It's
he's
like a
fat.
Stretch
not strong.
Armstrong. Okay, I would like us to theorize about what feather dancers are.
Yeah. I saw the feather in.
All right. Going backwards. What page is that
Page 273.
on? Okay.
Used by Brigitte in an analogy, an expression from past lives, as easy as finding feather dancers in Chiota.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Well, I would imagine extravagantly dressed dancers like Peacock style that are very hard to miss because it seems like she's kind of referencing something like that's fucking obvious.
Or the opposite.
Yeah, what does she mean? I think we need to
Interesting.
know that before we can decide.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I
did
went
she
the one
mean
way.
it was-
What do you guys think?
that was difficult because you can't find feather dancers? Or because Chiota is full of them. And how amazing is
Which is
that?
just
Everyone
it's a
walks
colony of
around
feather
and looks
dancers.
like-
Feather dancers everywhere.
everywhere.
It's like Rio.
That's
All
what
the
it
time.
is. Chiota
Every day.
is. So it's what I described, but there's 1,000 of them, so it's really hard to.
So
So
Shiota is
Shiota?
It's really
AKA
hard to find the
Carnival.
one you want.
Chiyoda is a nation.
Well, where
that-
is she? I don't know. It could be any one of them.
I don't know why. I'm with you, Joe. And like honestly, the Rio actually makes sense to me. Of kind of like ladies in.
Apparently,
what-
Shiota is the Las Vegas of Randland.
Yeah. How dare you? Pre-Randland. It's where Altera. Is it Altera? Yeah, Altera. After the Trolloc Wars, and I have the same thing though of like really just ladies dancing and not very much, which is either very easy to find or really difficult to figure out which one's who.
Maybe
it could
they
be
did
men.
those mating dances with the feathers, like the little birds on all the nature shows. They would
Peacocks?
Oh,
flap
yeah.
them up and show their little feathers to each other, and then
Do that again, Amis. Let me see it one more time. Yeah, that's good. It's hot. Let's keep
yeah,
it.
so on. I'm sure.
Joe is now showing his feathers in reciprocation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I see no feathers
It's down below. On his toes.
on his toes.
Mm. No.
He has
Baron Caldazar, did you find anything in your interesting in the notes that you found interesting in the letter F that aren't in the companion?
I don't think there was anything specifically on the letter F. I had some pages on Aiel. I had some pages on Aelfin and Eelfin. So I guess if we call them the Finn, that would count.
Interesting.
But yeah, I didn't really have a whole lot.
You were like, Fardias mine. It said, "See maidens of the spirit," and you're like,
It's like, see,
It did say that. Yep. And that was in another of the boxes that I didn't have, so I couldn't look at it. So.
"Oh, okay." What was it like going to the library? That must have been fun.
Yeah, it was pretty. I don't know. I was stressed because I was late and I only had like a 3-hour window to look at stuff, so it was a little bit frantic. But I still had 2 hours, so it was fine. But yeah, it was pretty cool, surreal, exciting.
Why is that? Just like they only allow that certain amount of time?
Yeah, you can book like a 3-hour window, either like 9 to 12 or 1 to 4. So I had the 1 to 4.
Why were you late? Did you get lost on Ogier Street?
Yes.
Okay.
No, my flight was delayed, and then
Oh, that's
it
the
took
worst.
us a long time to actually get off the plane. So I was like an hour late.
So every minute you were on that flight, you were just like, "Get
It
me
was
the
still
fuck
amazing.
off this plane!
I got a library to go to.
I
damn
got
it.
somewhere to be."
Yeah, pretty much.
I love like what a vacation, and I mean that like in a real fucking way. But everyone else like, I want to go see this. I want to go home. I was trying to get my boyfriend or girlfriend. I want to go to the library to look at some books. That we get
I really need to see these notes. I only have a 3-hour window. You're fucking my shit up.
Yeah, of all the people, I have the smallest time window here. So fuck all you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well done. That's good. Good work. On a very similar topic, let's talk about page 280, flip skirt.
Flip skirt.
Woman of
Flip
easy
skirt.
virtue. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
At least
just
she's
that's
not
it.
of editorial nature,
Not of editorial nature, though.
but easy virtue.
Yeah,
So
I
he's not specifically talking about Harriet.
Yeah. But yet he is, because all women are Harriet.
It's true.
I love
Yeah.
how you flip skirt, but then you miss flip, which is like right above that, and you don't bring that up at all.
I like that game. Just toss
I was
it in
waiting
there.
for you guys.
Let's talk
considering
about
that,
flip.
Let's see. It looks like a maiden, a maiden, and a maiden.
Mhm.
So I kind of. Do you want me to carry the entire narrative? Because guess what?
Yes.
It is horribly sexist.
We know.
Throwing a knife into the dirt.
You know what that
Not-
means?
Is it like bocce ball but with knives? Because
Anal.
So how many times you can flip the knife?
It's like bottle flipping. You have to land it on its point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, how many flips and into the point? You
And
know.
it has to be
Man,
pointing.
how bored were they in the threefold lands coming up with this game? What are
When
we
there's
gonna
no
do?
one to fight, you gotta
There's
do
nothing
something.
to do.
Yeah.
Let's just throw our knives into the
Yeah,
dirt.
but you're
What?
practicing your knife
Make
skills
a
at the same
game.
time. It's perfect.
No,
Make it a
I
game.
I like to think of it is that we're so busy all the time that we don't
Yeah.
have a lot of time to come up with really good games because
I mean, it sounds
So
like a
we're
great
just like,
game. So I disagree.
oh
on
my
one
Jagger
level.
fell out. Look, a game.
Look,
Do you draw like a dartboard in the dirt first, so it makes it like points and it's more
Target,
interesting? Yeah,
different
Yeah.
circles.
Little target?
maybe.
yeah,
Seems
no, you
like
draw
too
the
much work.
target afterwards. It's
too much
like-
work. That's you have the guy Shane do it.
Yeah.
Obviously,
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
the death saying is the
go 30 yards away. Draw me a circle.
I want to say some appreciation for fire sticks because of Ludra.
Yeah.
Love that that's included, and I love her. And she's like, I
Elutra's
think-
really
well,
cool.
I hope
character.
that they really
She's the best.
increase her visibility in the show because I love her.
I
As
love
a-
her
she's-
too.
Agreed.
She's fascinating, right? I mean, she really is. And she's revolutionary and revelatory
Mhm.
for what she actually does.
Yeah.
Like, there's really no, like, when you think about it, like, there's no character that does what she does from a technological standpoint, even more like Kim Dovere and other shit like that, because she brings cannons to warfare. Like,
Well, I
that's,
think she kind of like fills the gap after Fell is
Yeah.
taken out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'd agree
So
with
she
that.
takes over that kind of engineer role.
see
Yeah, like-
Herod, comma, Fell, or Herod
Mhm.
Fell.
Mhm.
Fell, comma Herod.
Yeah.
Can't talk about him right now.
Can't talk about it.
We can't talk about him.
Can't
But
talk about
Eludra.
Fell,
Fire
comma Herod
Sticks.
right now.
Fire sticks.
Yeah, I just
Fire
I
sticks,
just
comma
love it.
Eludra though. She's on the board.
We skipped it.
Yeah, and I think
she kind of like took a back seat as like a character for a little while, but like Robert Jordan knew he needed to keep her around, so like she
Yeah.
was sort of there too much. But it would be nice to like not have her just be in the background, you know, like during that
Yeah.
period of time. Like
I mean, I
just
love
keep her up
she just,
front the
like-
whole time, you know.
No matter what situation she's in, you know,
Yeah.
she makes it better. Like she just makes it happen.
Yeah.
yeah,
Doesn't
She's a
doesn't
doer.
fail. She's like, fuck it. Everyone died. I'm going this
Yeah.
way. You know, I'm gonna like do some new shit. You know, like
When-
I'm gonna keep being a successful fucking person. You know, this entire time, no matter if the entire world is falling apart. She's like, fuck it. I'm doing
Yeah,
this
she
shit.
kind of does embody that, like almost the entire
Yeah.
time, like because her whole world falls apart very
Yeah.
quickly.
Totally.
Multiple
Way
times.
times.
Way
It's like,
before
I'm
everyone
out.
else is like, last battle's happened, and I guess I'm gonna walk north. She's just like lost everything.
You know what I really want to happen is I want Eludra and Elaine to have like a mad scientist laboratory in the Camelin Palace together, where Eludra is like mixing up all sorts of things that explode, and Elaine's like tearing growling it
Yeah.
up and like doing all her experiments, and they like have this whole like nerd session together with
Chemistry
those-
and
that you said
electricity
Sarang
almost,
Growling, by the
Yeah.
way.
Which
Yeah.
one's Dr. Frankenstein and which one is the Hunchback?
Oh, I think they're like they could play up both of their kind of like researcher mentality stuff, which would be fun to visualize.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want
That'd be
them
kinda
to
fun.
bond.
I mean, they do hang out a lot in Camelot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you came back for Fire Sticks because that reminded me. I forget who it was before we started. I think it was when we started mentioning the word fire. Like, one of the 5 powers, but also a drink that was a corrupt version of Usquoy. I assume, I assume that's like, and I don't remember if it was a Jordan or Sanderson reference. That's actually him talking about Fireball, like just and that it's a corrupted version of whiskey because no one really likes Fireball other than your first couple of years of drinking, and it's just a corrupted version of learn to drink real whiskey.
We don't acknowledge that exists.
Exactly. So, just
We don't drink that. It's piss.
yeah,
Maybe
With
it's only
cinnamon.
what Shafale drinks. They
Yeah. That's,
Yes.
That is
That's
exactly
perfect.
what they drink.
They
that's
drink,
perfect.
They drink the regular Usquoy.
that's
Mhm.
very nice.
Oh. Guys, we got a lot of F to get through.
I know there's tons of F words.
You know what one of them is? Fuck.
Is it? No, it's not there.
And
Lie to me.
so Frieden Alvarin, sorry. C. Alvarin Frieda. Damn it.
Keep going. You got this.
I mean, we could talk about like the Foxhead medallions for a little
Yes.
while, guys. We could talk
Yeah.
about Furkarada. We could talk about
We could talk
Fork.
about
That's
this
basically
would be
Rufy's
going
for Aes
back,
Sedai.
but we could talk
No, go ahead.
about the Fists of Heaven.
Oh yeah, I actually kind of like flipped past that, but I did pause on it.
Seemed
But,
like a missed opportunity.
You guys got a sex joke?
I thought Jono would bring it up, so I didn't even bother writing.
That's what Bain&Chiad calls her forays with Sky Sex Trolloc.
Yes, right.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so the Trolloc from episode 1, the bird guy that just like exists for a moment and then gets completely blasted. I think he's kind of hot.
He has really good muscle structure. I'll be
He
honest.
really does. He looks good.
I hope that actor is watching and is just like,
I love my bird boy.
yeah,
Oh
he's
my God,
watching
if
it
he
and I'm going
is,
like, fuck yes.
I would love
Somebody
to
thought
meet
I was
him.
hot in that makeup. I mean, it was real.
What if it was one of the lady stunt people?
I mean,
That's
very
all right.
possible.
That's fine
That's
too.
even better.
Because it could have been because they had both ladies and men in those Trolloc.
Yeah, but weren't the
costumes.
lady Trollocs still dressed up as men Trollocs?
Yeah,
All right.
she was talking about the
I was
actor.
talking about the man Trolloc. Oh, not the actor.
Yeah, Bain&Chiad wants to meet the actor.
"Well, let's see what we can do." Have you found his or her name yet? From
I haven't.
Season
That's
one.
actually. I can't believe I haven't tried to find that yet.
I feel like we can make
You
a whole-
haven't even tried?
You have to
I have not
pause
even tried. It
Amazon
didn't even-
right when he's on
Didn't
the
even
screen.
occur to me because I was just
Ooh.
thinking of him as a bird and not a person.
As a birdman.
Tell us more about your sexual issues
But with
birds.
haunting human eyes.
Oh,
It's the beady beakiness of it all.
so should I not have done the mating dance earlier? Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly what
Yeah.
she was thinking when you were doing that, by the way. She's like, I'll take 5 feathers of that.
I literally had to pour my glass of water on myself.
I'm gonna cool off. I'm starting to freak out over here.
Fortunately, I just poured myself tea. Did not work well.
No.
Let's just talk about fork tea too for a minute. Like,
Sure.
what the hell?
We can talk about anything that starts with F.
People.
ladies.
Get with the program. There's fork tea out there. Like, why do they keep getting
Yeah.
like?
Especially in their positions of like not trusting anyone, and you're just like, you just met
let me
somebody and they're
drink
like,
your
here, have
drink."
some tea. And you're like, oh, okay.
Okay, like what the fuck? Like, come on.
What's the?
They just need tasters.
Have you guys read?
The fact that it happens more than once.
I
that's
know.
the thing.
Drives me
Yeah.
insane.
They should have like an animal or like a small child next to them, and you just feed it, and then the child passes out, and they're like, wait a second.
But I think that
My
it
dog
only
just
does-
fell
but it
asleep.
only does that to channelers.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Shit. Damn it.
What
Felinda.
were you saying, Bain&Chiad?
Oh, just that they should have a test. Like somebody should have come up with like, you put a droplet of
test the
something
tea.
and find out.
Oh yeah, put a
Like
drop
in,
of this in there. It turns green. Yeah.
Yeah, if you read N.K. Jemison's Broken Earth series, I think it is. That's what they do. They have this like ceremony with a drink, and then you put something in it to make sure it's like okay to drink. That's what everybody does. So why don't
Like
they
a
just do that?
king's taste tester or whatever, right? They taste all the
Yeah.
food. They pass it
Yeah.
on. Like, this is not a new concept.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it
also
seems like the one power could probably solve that.
Yeah.
could you
Yeah, probably.
channel filaments like small enough to kind of like pull out whatever tea leaves are in there? You can
No.
look at it and say like,
It's not the leaves. It's what's in the liquid after that's brewed.
you realize that the leaves are going to be still in there usually, right? The dregs.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the drugs
How
will be
good's your
in the
strainer,
liquid
Joe?
you're drinking still.
How good's your strainer? Also, another thing, as long as you got 2 Aes Sedai or 2 channelers of any side, just give it to your weaker one and just say drink.
Or
up
yeah,
this."
yeah, just don't both drink.
Yeah.
Just one of you is
Here,
like,
you try this.
I pretended to drink. I just kept my mouth closed.
Well,
Yeah, just like fall asleep, and then like if it's not fork root tea, you just look like the weirdest dude, like or like chick, I guess in this case. Does it work on men?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Let me be-
It's never used on them in the series. is
but
it?
it'd be really funny if it doesn't work on. Either way, but I like the idea.
Maybe is that in the entry?
It doesn't
No.
say. I don't.
Rhonda Makira.
Maybe someone in chat knows. Does anybody know?
I mean, it says very vaguely preventing
says
channeling
channel.
by those with the ability to do
Yeah.
so. I would assume that means men and female. But
I
you know, who
think-
knows?
10 o'clock. I'll just call Alan.
Yeah, just text Alan.
Just gonna call him in the middle of the show. Yeah.
Just call him and see if he'll come on speaker.
Well, he's asleep for sure, but I mean, we can text him. All right, you text Alan, I'll text Maria. Let's see what...
We'll take bets.
I'll email Harriet.
I bet 2 glasses of Uskoy that neither one responds.
Does fork root work on men? Question mark. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Did you really just text Maria?
Yeah,
What just happened? Love it.
of course I did. Why wouldn't I? Anyway, yeah. Well, we'll circle back to that.
Can we get to
Jono, do you text Alan yet?
Forsaken?
Oh, I'll actually text him. All right, fine.
Wait, is there Forsaken entry?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, it starts with an
It
S.
doesn't say C. Grendel, Agenor.
It
It'd be so good if it did that.
He chosen.
Yeah. I'm very
See,
upset
chosen.
that it doesn't say.
How did you
C
not talk
chosen.
about that during the letter C, you idiots? Okay, Forsaken. Okay.
I
The
would
name
have talked
given-
about it.
Is there anything interesting in this entry? I wonder.
Not really. Other than the term of social Darwinism, which I don't think is native to the Wheel of Time. But yeah, I will tell you this, and it doesn't really matter considering it's not in here. But I always wanted to know more about the the Forsaken previous to the Sealing, because there's plenty of mention, especially I think in the Big White Book, that the 13 that we see are probably the biggest 13. But at the same time, there were others that were kind of in that chosen/Forsaken labeling that just didn't happen to be there or had died before. And so these obviously were the long running, considering they were there, but it didn't have to be all 1 through 13. It could have been, there could have been others outside that were just not there.
Mhm.
I thought anyone outside the 13 was like a dreadlord and not like of that status.
That's a term that came later.
Oh, okay.
So the chosen is the top 13 Forsaken, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying in this entry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like what I said. So the Forsaken are the top 13.
No. So that's what this entry is kind of implying.
But that's not what was there earlier on, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like there were so many games kind of going on before, like to who would or would not be, because they killed each other as often as they killed others, or maneuvered against each other.
Right. That would make sense, actually. Okay.
Foxhead medallion. It's a silver fox head. That's a medallion.
Did you guys know there was a
It's not
4
that
holes
bad.
set?
Yeah, 4 holes. I figured that was a very lowbrow joke, and I would skip over it because I'm a mature adult.
Oh,
Jono, we all know you're not.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I was just informing.
Yeah.
Where I
I'm-
feel and we like
thank
to
you for
share.
bringing it to my attention because I did not know.
There's
that.
a 4
And I
hole
love
set.
it.
It's a Tardat
What do you-
set.
What do you think those 4 holes are?
I bet they're inspired by the 4 different holes on Butt Rock.
Yeah,
makes
probably.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to assume
They're
nasal
all for
and
different types of
ball.
weapons.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because you can quench in each of those.
Yeah, you
different
can
holes.
quench
You
something
have a
in all.
spear,
I
you
mean,
have a dagger, you have your arrows. Yeah, they're all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
And everyone knows Butt Rock's capable of taking all 4 of those at the same time. And I think that's the key.
That's
Right.
why it's sacred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad we established that.
I mean, I think it's important to establish.
I'm so glad I came back for that comment about butt rub. Yes,
Aren't you?
I am.
Not to be confused with 4 stones. Also a Tardat
Or
set.
5 finger, whatever.
4 stones, 4 holes. Yeah.
They really like
very
the
different.
number 4. That was named after their very first chief. He had a very strange situation down there. He had 4 stones.
We're talking about 4 holes or 4 stones? Because
No,
there's
this
4
is-
holes.
This
Both.
is a sept of the Tardata
Yeah, that's 4 holes.
No.
And 4
No,
stones.
4 stones is as well.
Really?
Their very first chief,
Yes.
Tardata.
Shut up.
Had
Oh my
4
God. What is up
balls.
with that?
No idea.
Listen,
I
we
kind of like it though.
name it like we see it.
It's true.
There's 4 holes. Huh.
You have 4 balls. We should name it our whole sept 4 stones. You're a chief. Oh,
I don't have
goodness.
much else other than this. Now I look at it. File, not to be confused with Fail, that horrible hole. The last century.
Yeah.
Not for me, I hope. 286. Oh, thank you. Yeah, forget the graphics. If you remember, this is in book 3 when Rand's on his running on his way to not die in the Dragon Reborn. The mayor finding sacks of Melindhra gold while digging a privy, saving the town from poverty. It's such a wonderful piece of tWoTcast luck, which is a weird thing of how that fluctuated during the series anyway, but I don't know why. That just makes me really happy that they put in there. It wasn't just like, hey, he found gold, but digging for a privy. Which
I don't remember that. I think that might just be in the companion. I don't remember that from the books. All I remember is that they found gold buried. It doesn't in the books. I mean, it doesn't specifically mention them digging a fucking bathroom.
it's a weird
I don't
thing.
think. I could be wrong. Am I wrong?
This was
I don't
probably
know.
before they met Fail, right? They
It was
were in
definitely
Fael,
before they met
and then they met
Fael.
Fael like later
Yeah, they met Fael afterwards. Yeah,
after Fael.
yeah. She named herself after that. Like, I first want to be named after your horse, then I want to be named after a shithole town where you find gold. Because I got this big
in a
note.
shithole.
Yeah,
But you find gold in a shithole. In that
Yeah,
shithole.
you
town.
never know what you might find in a shithole.
Yeah.
You do never know.
You're very Ilianer there. You do never know. I don't have shit else.
I just wanted to appreciate the fan descriptions because
Is there fan descriptions?
yes,
Yeah,
It's
the language of
Language
man.
of the fans.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this earlier, Joe. God damn it.
Did we?
Go way back.
disbelief, snap and shut,
That was pre-show.
innocence, gentle fluttering
Oh.
of the face.
I was probably attending a small screaming child at that time, I think.
You would think that that
I
innocence would
love
be
your
second.
fan work, Amis.
kiss me. You may kiss me.
Interesting.
Next time I see you, ladies.
That's hot.
Is there a way to specify where?
I mean, maybe you'd have to be like, I don't know.
Just slowly
Figure it
point
out,
down.
Baby-Chiad, it's fine. We'll
I'm
figure it
really
out.
looking forward to language of fans lessons with Amis.
I can't wait.
new
It
YouTube show.
should be a panel. WotCon, if you're listening.
Should
want
be a panel.
I mean, this is cute too. Like love or a shared kiss as you touch your cheek and then their cheek. That's
Mhm.
pretty cute.
Sometimes it's a little obvious. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
a
like,
little. Hey,
yeah.
well, Saldeans are kind of aggressive, so
They
you know,
are.
that's all right.
The one for Kiss Me Below, where you take the end of your closed fan, brush against your vagina lips, a little aggressive. Like, it's kind of obvious.
I think that's just called good communication, my friend.
Yeah. I
Because you
guess
don't want to
that's
be
true.
like, "Hey, what do I do, man?" You'd be like, "Just get down there."
Subtle.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Glad she's got the fan.
I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Yeah.
Some people need more direction.
That's true. That's true. No, no.
That's going to be on my epitaph.
I mean, Fano.
It's true.
Yeah.
I like
Alright,
this
well,
one
I mean-
too. Caution.
Oh, there's more.
That's it. Last one.
Wait, we're ending on caution.
No. Wait. We
You
should,
want me to
we
go back
should
to this
end
one?
on
All right,
friends.
what are we ending?
Friends of the Dark.
Friends of the
Yes.
Dark.
Yeah,
You're one of
It's a
them,
good
right?
one.
That's an old name for dark friends.
That was my disbelief.
An old name.
Yes, what's our
I
It's
wonder
just an
how
old
he
name.
arrived at that. Seems like
Yeah.
he would have had to do a lot of research to connect those two.
What he
things.
read. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
deep effort from him.
So remember when Melindhra looks at pictures of Shaitan on her refrigerator, she goes like this.
Mhm.
No,
Oh.
he's my dad. Come on.
Cool. Yeah.
Sorry,
We
that's-
forgot,
that's
we
the-
forgot about
that's the
that.
drop
Man.
part.
That's where I draw the line.
So that's tWoTcast this week,
I forgot.
Joe.
I forgot he was your dad.
Yeah.
All right, Jono. That's tWoTcast for this week. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below. And in theory, we'll get better at responding to them. It's probably not true, but we'll pretend like it is. You can listen to the audio version of this show wherever you get your podcasts. tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by the one and the only Taffy Bennington. She's amazing. And also the Andrew Genhold, Bard of Time. Links to their stuff is below as well, of course. Thank you to our guests. You guys were
Thanks
lovely.
for having us.
Thank you very much.
Links to your shows are below. Oh, and also your blog, right?
Yeah. My column
Yeah.
on the Great Lakes.
Vala Zalman and Carrion.
Hyrian! I'm kidding.
Oh, sorry.
I needed a minute to like translate that to the.
Listen, I have them ready. I'm not Michael Kramer, you know. Like I might say it wrong. Links to your guys' stuff is below. Obviously, if you don't know Threefold Talk, go watch it. It's a great show.
Thursdays, 9
Yes.
p.m. Eastern.
Join us next episode for more Wheel of Time covering the letter G.
Gee.
And who's going to be on? We don't know.
Yeah.
God.
We'll figure it
Some
out.
guy.
It may be Gappy.
Guys.
But
Guy.
We can literally just have any guy on. Thank you for that.
You can have the
That
great
was
Lord
very
on.
helpful.
Or
Yeah.
girl.
no,
I mean,
we've hit our
Gus
limit.
from Wheel Takes, old friend of the show. Maybe we'll give him a call. We don't know. Who knows?
Mm.
We were going to try to do a Saturday episode with Andrew Genhold, but we don't know. Jono, I know Jono's out of town or something.
It's
Annoying.
4th of July weekend.
He's probably going to be
4th of July means nothing to him.
40
How dare you?
SPF. You know?
What's that, Ace?
You're probably
We'll
going to
figure
put
it
on
out.
your 40 SPF and sit under umbrella this weekend.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Check
and once
this
those
scale
fire
shit
sticks.
out. Yeah.
Someone
Yeah,
said
what
Guy
is-
Roberts. We should
Oh,
call
yeah,
him.
Brenda.
Let's give him a call.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be
Brenda.
Give
awesome.
him a call.
Guy
like
Roberts
him.
is the dude who was
Uno.
yeah. Oh, we could. That's an
He would
actual
do
friend
it,
of,
man. He's really into it, I bet. Just
yeah, he's a
He-
friend of
He's
the
very friendly.
Ramanchas.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So yeah, we could.
Checking back in, does fork root work on men? To Maria, here's the answer, and it's very interesting. Yes, period.
Thanks, Maria.
Yeah.
Thank you,
You're amazing.
Maria.
Love you.
Thank you for the
Love Maria.
clarification.
Yeah.
Good. Like
It's
her,
so much
for
better hack now.
Maria.
Hey guys, thanks so much for being on the show tonight. You guys are awesome. It was nice having you on, and we enjoyed it.
Thank you very
Joe,
much.
say goodnight, Jono.
Good night, Jono.
Good night.
Keep the change. And Tom's not here. Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Fuck you, Tom.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another other one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast code.